aircraft out there flying these missions and getting the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So take that proven airframe, take that proven weapons platform that doesn't cost $2 billion a piece, and crank out a bunch of them. Let's put some Americans back to work making cheaper weapons platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, reconstitute the military. And we don't need to spend any more in the process of doing it.
Absolutely. And, one of the other massive issues, I know we're kind of running out of time here, but, I have to ask about, the VA. I mean, obviously, within our community, it's one of the biggest issues. People are desperate for reform. They're desperate for, basically anything positive to come out of the VA. I've documented on this show almost 100 years of waste, fraud, and abuse at the VA. It's the second biggest bureaucracy in the government. What does
for the president and the Congress to both be responsible for the Veterans Affairs Department, that it is that badly mismanaged? That's not just on Obama. That is on Congress too. You know who the head of congressional oversight for the VA is supposed to be? Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
he hasn't done anything to make it better to this point. Why in the world would a veteran support him?
But they do, and that's what
they do.
It's a communication issue. It's an education issue. There's a lot of things that go into that. But how do we attack this thing and fix the problem? I mean, so many plans are out there, from just straight up VA reform to better accountability to the other opposite end of privatizing the VA. What do you feel is the best approach to this thing?
All right, for everybody who wants to shut down the VA, I am not your candidate, because I do not believe that is a feasible alternative for our veterans. What I want to see done, and what I will do in that position, is provide accountability. I am not a politician. I'm a veteran. And no one in this country is more committed to making sure that my brothers and sisters are properly taken care of. The VA falls under my authority as President of the United States. It is a department of the executive branch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put somebody in charge of the VA with a personal commitment to making the improvements to provide world-class health care and services to veterans, because that is what we were led to expect. Veterans care and services are not welfare.
No.
Those are earned benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Those are benefits that we have sacrificed our lives, our bodies, our minds, with the expectation that that care would be there for us when we needed it. So the government has already gotten from us our contribution. They have an obligation, a contractual obligation,
yes,
if not a moral obligation, to provide the services that were promised. And they will do so. And I will ensure that they do so. Now, what I want to see happen is I want to see somebody, as I said, who is personally invested in the success of the VA. And there will be accountability from the top down. I will expect a briefing every day. What are we doing? How's it going? I want to see progress. The thing with the VA is this. It is not awful everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There are some VA facilities providing outstanding care and services, and there are some that are absolutely atrocious. So we need to figure out why the best facilities work as well as they do. We need to benchmark what they're doing. We need to carry that forward into the failing facilities and bring them up to the same level of care and services.
And I absolutely agree with what you're saying here, and it's an excellent point that, that there are parts of the VA that are working phenomenally well, and, just as many or whatever that are failing. And it's easy to talk about accountability. I mean, they're doing it right now. Both Congress and the VA, they're all talking accountability, but I have to push you a little bit on it because it's easier said than done when we're dealing with the unions and, you know, the collective bargaining agreements. I mean, how many times have we tried to get rid of some of these bad eggs and only to have them restored on an appeal? I think that's something that we have to really attack.
And obviously we need smarter people making those arguments. I've worked in a few union facilities. I have an idea how union and collective bargaining works. Mm-hmm. There's a contract. There is black and white in that contract. If the black and white is not conducive to the employer being able to terminate the people who work for the union, then that needs to be addressed in negotiation. There has to be a legitimate way for the employer to terminate for cause. Mm-hmm. Now, perhaps that is there. Perhaps that actually exists. And I'm sure that from the White House I can find lawyers competent to figure out how we go about lawfully getting rid of people who violate law, basically, who are guilty of fraud, waste, and abuse. Now, I have to believe from my time in the military service, and you serve too, so you know that fraud, waste, and abuse is no joke.
Oh, absolutely.
So how does that not apply to the VA? Is the law written in such a way that it only applies to the Department of Defense? If so, then we need new legislation that covers the VA specifically. But I would like to see it generalized to all departments.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I mean, the waste, fraud, and abuse. I mean, it happens everywhere. It's there are temptations in human nature to do the wrong thing. You're going to see that, but we also have, like you mentioned earlier, these kickbacks, these little sweetheart deals. It happens in every department. So yeah, I have to say that a broader approach to government waste, fraud, and abuse type things. Maybe that's another area we can save some money in.
I sincerely believe I'm going to keep the Department of Justice very busy internally.
I like that.
For the next 4 years. Because it's time to start prosecuting some of these people for the things that they're doing that are frankly criminal. If we can't fire them, we can put them in prison.
I like it. I absolutely like it.
That might be enough to have them terminated.
Yeah, you would think so. Well, I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal stuff, and I've gone ahead and shared all your links. I have your Facebook page, the Veterans Party of America website, your website. Is there any other ways that folks can get information or get involved?
Those were primarily the 3 points of contact for us. Veterans Party of America has a Facebook page. They're extremely active. They respond as I do on my Facebook page, Chris Keniston for President 2016 on Facebook. Reach out to us. Contact us directly. You'll get an answer. Otherwise, you can go to the website, either veteranspartyofamerica.org or chriskeniston2016.com for the campaign, and reach out to us there via email. We've done everything we can to make everything as open and transparent as possible and to be accessible, which is, I think, the one thing that people should most expect from the representatives and from people who are asking to represent them, is that they be accessible. This is your government. This is my government. How dare anybody pretend we don't exist, except how are we going to vote? If I've got a question, I deserve an answer.
Absolutely.
So, to anyone interested in that has questions, you're invited. Ask me. I'll answer.
And again, I just think that the American people are craving that kind of transparency, that kind of openness, and I really have a deep respect for that. I've had you on here for about an hour, and I'm sure you've got a ton of things on your schedule. I'd love to have you come back in the near future here and talk some more issues and kind of keep us updated with where you guys are at on the campaign and how folks can get involved and basically everything you got going on.
Oh, I'd be more than happy to. Come back anytime.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time to sit with us today and to talk and to be open and just address the issues without the the political spin and song and dance stuff. I really appreciate that. What are your
we're not a spin party. We're a solutions based party. We're trying to get stuff done.
I like it. Absolutely like it, and that is the warfighter mentality, and it's refreshing to see. It absolutely is. So absolutely, please stay in touch, and we'll get with you and get you scheduled to come back on, and hopefully we can keep talking some issues. And because I truly believe that discussing the issues is one of the most critical things. We may not always agree, but if we can talk about it, debate it out a little bit, maybe we all learn from each other, and at the end of the day, we come together and we move, forward. We assault forward and achieve everything we're setting out to do. And I'm glad to see that you guys are kind of taking that approach.
That's the mentality that we're bringing to politics. Enough spin, enough talk. It's time to get some stuff done. And if you want things done, Veterans Party of America is the party most committed to making that happen. It is not exclusive. It's open to all Americans. It's just founded on veteran values.
Absolutely love it. And again, thanks again for spending so much time with me today, and we will talk to you very, very soon.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Have a great day, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, folks, so there you have it. That was Chris Keniston, the presidential candidate.